Now in higher secondary syllabus, in the chapter chemical bonding, where the application of hydrogen bonding is given, a problem is generally seen that what happens when blue vitriol is heated. Now blue vitriol is this pentahydrate copper sulfate, which is a deep blue crystal. Now at 30 degrees centigrade, we have dehydration in this molecule and we will get copper sulfate trihydrate system. These are the water of crystallization, and with increase in temperature of the system, the water of crystallization is decreasing, and what will happen, since the water of crystallization is responsible for the crystal structure and also for the color in this particular complex, we will see the gradual loss in the crystal structure as well as the color. We will find that this is blue in color. Now upon further increase in temperature nearly around 100 degrees centigrade, it will lose another two molecules of water, and it will give you monohydrate system. It is bluish white in color. Finally, upon application of 230 to 250 degrees centigrade, the last molecule of water is released, and we have the white and amorphous copper sulfate. So we have started with the pentahydrate system. Now, since we will use this for a several number of times, let us have some abbreviations. We will refer it as penta, and we will symbolize at P as P. Note that it is not any convention. I am just taking these abbreviations to make our life simple, since we have to use it several times. So we are referring the pentahydrate copper sulfate as penta, and we will symbolize it as P. And for this trihydrate system, we will call this as tri and symbolize as T. And for the monohydrate system, we will refer it as mono and symbolize as M. And for this one, we will tell it amorphous or anhydrous and symbolize as A. So at nearly moderate temperature, the pentahydrate crystal loses two molecules of water of crystallization to give you the trihydrate system, and at around 100 degrees centigrade further dehydration results and you get bluish white compound. It is a monohydrate crystal, and at a much higher temperature around 230 degrees centigrade, this last molecule gets released and it gives you white amorphous, that is, it loses its crystal structure. So it is white and amorphous. Now, what structure is responsible for such decomposition? Crystal structure study have revealed that it looks like, so we are not getting into the three-dimensional structure since it is very much complicated. We are giving only a rough idea about the structure. here 4 water molecules will form coordinate covalent bond with the cupric ion Cu2 plus. So you will get 4 coordinate covalent bond. Now these 2 water molecules will establish a strong hydrogen bonding with another water molecule. So this is the hydrogen bonding, and we have a sulfate ion. Structure of sulfate ion is like this. So this is the sulfate ion SO4 2 minus, this is the metal ion Cu2 plus, and we have 4 water molecules to form a coordinate covalent bond with this metal ion. So this is the atmosphere, complex atmosphere, and with the 2 water molecules, the 5th water molecule is establishing strong hydrogen bonding, and it is extended with the sulfate ion. Now what happens when we have this crystal in moderate temperature? These 2 water molecules leave the system. Since this bonding is not that strong, it leaves and these are labile ligands, and these 2 water molecules, first we get these 2 water molecules, which are these 2. Now with further increase in temperature, since you see these 2 water molecules are also in hydrogen bonding with the 5th water molecule, these 2 water molecules requires higher temperature than this one, than these 2 water molecules. So at 100 degrees centigrade, the trihydrate crystal converts to the monohydrate one, and after the release of 4 water molecules from the system, this water molecule still in hydrogen in bonded condition with this sulfate ion, and it is obviously a strong hydrogen bond, 2 hydrogen bonds, and this lone pair will have a connection with this copper 2 plus ion. So to get this last molecule to be released from the system, you need a further temperature. So this stepwise dissociation, stepwise decomposition, that is stepwise hydration, is because of this speciality in this crystal structure. 2 molecules are loosely bounded, so you get release of 2 water molecules at a much lower temperature. 2 water molecules are have comparatively stronger bonds, so that requires a much higher temperature than the previous one, and the last water molecule is much more stronger hydrogen bonds, so you will require a greater temperature, much greater temperature to have it removed. So finally we have the anhydrous copper sulfate, which is white in color and amorphous in structure, so it is not crystalline. Now when this understanding is required up to higher secondary level, but in case of chemistry honor student, you need to know the phase diagram of this compound, and also with the help of the phase diagram you have to explore the stepwise decomposition. Now see this pentahydrate system, first will engage into an equilibrium with the trihydrate system. So this will have an equilibrium equals to pressure of H2O, since the activity of pure solid is equal to 1, we have the equilibrium constant to be defined by the pressure of water vapor only, and this equilibrium constant is found to be 45.4 millimeter Hg at 50 degree centigrade. Now this trihydrate system is further engaged into another equilibrium. Further dehydration occurs, so we get the monohydrate system, and here we get the equilibrium constant to be same, the expression to be same, since these two are solids, and we know that for pure solid activity is 1. So the equilibrium constant will be expressed by partial pressure of water only. Now it is found to be 30.9 millimeter Hg. And the last step, where the monohydrate compound when this monohydrate compound releases the last water molecule, here also we get the equilibrium constant to be pressure of water vapor, and it is found to be 4.5 millimeter Hg. So all these are happening at 50 degree centigrade. Now see, if we start with this compound, this blue vitriol, within a closed vessel, and with the help of a vacuum pump, let us try to evacuate the system, evacuate the space, we will see the pressure to drop from the starting value, and we will find that the pressure come to a constant value. Pressure first drop and then it come to a constant value at 45.4 millimeter Hg, and this remain constant for a while, not for the entire time left. It remain constant for a while, and then after remaining constant for a while it again drops. Then it comes to 30.9 millimeter Hg, and then it again remain constant for a while. So we have started with a copper sulfate pentahydrate system within a closed vessel, and with the help of a vacuum pump we are extracting the vapors, and what we see that the pressure drops and comes to 45.4 millimeter Hg, and then it remains constant for a while, and after that it again drops to 30.9 millimeter Hg, then it again remains constant for a while. The pump is running, the vacuum pump is running, but it remains constant for a while, then it again drops and come to 4.5 millimeter Hg. So what is running in the background? This is the question. Now we will draw the temperature pressure phase diagram for this solid gas system. We will draw the y-axis to be pressure in millimeter Hg and this in degree centigrade. Now we will have the graph to look like this one. Now what is in this gap? In this gap we have the copper sulfate pentahydrate system. We are not writing the complete structure. I have used the abbreviation before at the start of this lecture. So it is CuSO4 stop 5H2O, that is the penta, and it is in equilibrium with its vapor. So we have the pentahydrate crystal and water vapor here. Now here we have, in this domain we will have the trihydrate system plus water vapor, and in this domain what we will have? We will have the monohydrate system, copper sulfate monohydrate plus water vapor, and in this system we will have the anhydrous copper sulfate plus water vapor. So here we have CuSO4 stop 5H2O plus water vapor. In this domain we have CuSO4 stop 3H2O, that is the trihydrate system, plus water vapor. Here we have the copper sulfate dot H2O, that is the monohydrate system, plus water vapor, and here it is anhydrous copper sulfate plus water vapor. So this is deep blue crystal, this is blue, this is bluish white, and this is white and amorphous. It is crystalline, it is amorphous, it is not crystalline. Now if we restrict ourselves to a particular temperature, that is at 50 degrees centigrade, then what happens? We will have this equilibrium at 45.4 millimeter Hg. 45.4 millimeter Hg. Now what this line is indicating? This line is actually the equilibrium between the pentahydrate and the trihydrate system, which I have written just now. So this line is indicating that here are three phases: the pentahydrate system, solid phase, the trihydrate system, solid phase, and the water vapor. So for this, if we write this as PT, so at PT we have phase equal to 3, one for this pentahydrate solid, one for this trihydrate solid, and other for the water vapor. Now component, you see, by using two components, that is either penta and water vapor or trihydrate and water vapor, you can have all the three components. So component is 2. And you see this phase diagram is a pressure temperature diagram, so pressure and temperature you can vary. So there is no pressure temperature restriction. So you have the degrees of freedom from the phase rule to be, it's 2 minus 3 plus 2, so it is 1. So this PT will be univariant system, F equal to 1. Here also it is TM, that is trihydrate monohydrate crystal equilibrium. Here also you will have F equal to 1, since here instead of pentahydrate and trihydrate equilibrium, you will have trihydrate and monohydrate equilibrium. And here in this case, the amorphous system, you will have monohydrate, and the amorphous you will also have F equal to 1. So these three lines are the univariant systems. We can only change one variable. Now what about in this region, or in this region, or in this region, or in this region? What will happen? All are same almost. And exactly same with respect to the degrees of freedom. So if we try to calculate, then formula is this one. Now here you have only two phase, one solid and one vapor. One solid, one vapor, one solid, one vapor, one solid, one vapor. So two phases you get. And component, two components are required to express penta and water vapor or tri and water vapor. So here it is 2. So all these spaces are bivariant system. So you are able to change two variables without changing the phase of the system. Now keeping temperature constant, we are running a vacuum pump that is extracting the water vapor from the closed vessel, and we have started from this point, say at A. Now when it is starting at this point, with suction, the vapor pressure will drop, and with this drop, as it gradually drops, as the machine is running, a time will come when the vapor pressure will try to fall. Now the crystal, that is the pentahydrate crystal, have water of crystallization, and it will not allow to fall the pressure below this value. And when the suction pump is trying to lower the vapor pressure below this value, it will start dissociation. So at this point, there is a drive of conversion from pentahydrate system to trihydrate system. So after reaching this pressure, if we further try to suck the water vapor, then there will be a conversion from penta to tri. And when the pentahydrate system converts to trihydrate system, what it will give? It will generate water vapor. That is CuSO4.5H2O reversible CuSO4.3H2O plus 2H2O. I have already told it to you. I have written the equations, all the three equations. So when this pentahydrate system gets dehydrated to trihydrate system, it will release 2 water molecules per molecule of this crystal. So you will get more and more water vapor. Now the suction pump is busy in extracting the water vapor, and water vapor is generating here. So what will happen? This pressure will remain constant since there is a supply of water vapor owing to this dissociation. So at 45.4 millimeter Hg, it will remain constant for a while. That is, the pressure will not fall. So from this domain to this domain, the pressure will not fall. This is 45.4 millimeter Hg. Now what this point indicates? This point indicates it is penta, that is copper sulphate dot 5 H2O. And what this point indicate? It is tri, that is copper sulphate dot 3H2. So it is penta, it is tri. Now check, when you start from A, you come to B here. So this is B. Now at B, there is a dehydration of the pentahydrate to trihydrate. So there is a supply of water vapor due to dissociation, due to decomposition, and the pressure remains constant since the vacuum pump is running. Now what you will have at C? Say it converts to completely it converts to trihydrate. So it is C. So this is C. So at the end you will have total all the pentahydrate crystal to get converted into the trihydrate crystal. Now when this point is reached, what will happen? The pressure will start again falling since there is no further supply of water vapor. So pressure will fall up to this point. So pressure will fall up to this point. Say it is D. Then again, now this point is, at this point we have pressure 30.9 millimeter Hg. So this will correspond to 30.9 millimeter Hg. Now again there is a conversion from tri to mono. So there is again dehydration. Now this dehydration will supply you water vapor, more and more water vapor. So at this point the pressure will remain constant again for a while the trihydrate system converts to this, say D converts to the monohydrate system. So you have here the monohydrate system, CuSO4 dot H2O. You have here the monohydrate system. Now when the complete dehydration process occurs, that the trihydrate completely gets dehydrated to the monohydrate, it comes to the point E. And after reaching E, what happens? It again, the pressure starts fall again. Now these two are closer and this line is little bit away, so there will be a large drop here and it will come to this point. So there is a little bit defect in the drawing. It should be more close and it should be more flattened, so it fits, the gap fits the data. Now it will come to 4.5 millimeter Hg, since the monohydrate here converts to, it will drop from 30.9 millimeter Hg and it will come to this point. This point. So what it is? It corresponds to 4.5 millimeter Hg. Now after reaching this is say point F, it again converts to the anhydrous copper sulfate and water vapor. So here also there is a supply of water vapor. So pressure will remain constant here for a while. So pressure will remain constant here. So at this point you will have CuSO4. So first you start with the pentahydrate system, then pressure falls up to 45.4 millimeter, then it will not allow to fall it further again, since conversion starts from penta to tri, so there is supply of water vapor, and when the complete conversion takes place, there is further drop from 45.4 millimeter to 30.9 millimeter, and since the trihydrate system does not allow further lowering of vapor pressure, it decomposes to the monohydrate system as supply water vapor, so that allows the system to maintain a constant vapor pressure at 30.9 millimeter Hg. When the complete conversion takes place, there is no more supply of water vapor, and the suction pump then is able to decrease the water vapor from this one to 4.5 millimeter Hg. Here again what happens, we will have another dehydration process from monohydrate copper sulfate to this anhydrous copper sulfate. So this is the stepwise decomposition of blue vitriol, and this is the phase diagram of such, which indicates such decomposition process, depicts the entire decomposition process of a solid gas system.